All right, welcome back to the Bait Lab. Yep, we are back in the Bait Lab for the final installment here. Look, we've cured up our shrimp. I've taken you guys through that, but you know, you can only go so far if you don't know how to rig them for success. Real quickly, once again reminding you that Bait Lab presentation is brought to you by Sportco and Outdoor Emporium. Pretty much everything you see here on the table you can find at the store as you walk in or online. So, getting to how I really like to present my coon shrimp, especially for Summer Run Steelhead, man. Low, clear water. This is such an efficient and effective technique on how to put your shrimp in front of biting fish. So I got a lot of stuff here on the table, but first I want to start with the rod. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I am all about utilizing, believe it or not, my kokanee rods for my plug rods now for Summer Run Steelhead. This is an HSR 7111. It's a 7-foot 11-inch, 6 to 15 pound. Works fantastic in the downrigger for kokanee and sockeye and all those things. You're gonna love this rod for what it's designed to do. It also works really, really well in an environment much like Summer Run Steelhead, either running small plugs, which at times we really minimize and get down to small plug presentation, and the activity on the tip of these rods really lets you know exactly what that plug's doing. They also work really well when we are running bait divers and putting our bait or our coon shrimp, sand shrimp, what have you, out in front of the diver. The rod is gonna telegraph and let you know exactly what's going on. It's very efficient. In all those applications, I suggest you check them out by Edge Rod. So, looking at everything I have here on the table and how do we rig? How do we run these bait divers and the coon shrimp in different water clarities, water depths, big rivers, small rivers, maybe it's big like the Cowlitz and we're narrowing it down into some buckets and some holes. Maybe it's smaller tributary rivers that are low and extremely clear, especially by the time we get into July and August when we really like to start going after those summer run fish. So let's take a look at the table here. I got a lot of things laying here, and first you're gonna see that I exclusively run my Brad's divers when I'm running coon shrimp or bait for my steelhead. The mediums work so well. You can go with the magnums if you're in a bigger river. They're gonna get down considerably deeper, upwards of 15 to 18 feet in some applications. But the mediums are gonna do just fine in your smaller rivers, 6 to 10 foot of depth all day long. And the metallics work great in clear water, even with full sun. Sometimes I'll put the metallics on for extra attractability, but if we're in a river with a lot of pressure, okay, if we're actually fishing a river that has a little bit more pressure with lots of stuff going through, I'm gonna dumb it down and I'm gonna stick really to the clear with the black bill or the black. Just natural colors, black in nature is just so productive. More times than not, I'm probably running the black diver. Now, how am I fixing that? So here on my top shot off of my line, I'm simply running a swivel to the connection point, pull point on your diver. And then underneath your diver, you're putting a small dual lock. It's just that simple. I put a small dual lock on the belly because I'm tying these leaders, all right? These are literally, these are the Brad's B chains, and it's very important to have those on your leaders as well. But I'm literally tying these are, 5 foot, 5.5 foot leader off of your diver. Okay, that's important. And why do I go with the B chain right at the front of this guy where it hooks on? Because sometimes when this is running, depending on how it positions itself in the water column, the bill on this thing can get pretty gnarled up or sharp, and if that's your line coming directly off of that belly of that plug, you potentially could cut that line. So we run a B chain on there for protection, run that down to a dual hook setup. Now this year I am running the Gamakatsu barbless hook. I really like the size and width of the gap on these hooks. I'm running a number 2 as my stinger and a number 1 as my main hook that goes through the bait. Now I like to run them naked like this, and I'll show you how to rig that in a second. Previously, I've had great success. Purple Haze Smile Blade from Max Lure works really well. And yes, the straw, we'll talk about that, but red straw, clear straw, doesn't matter. Spin and Glow for extra buoyancy, a small 10, 12, 14 miller bead on there for buoyancy. but running them naked like this works extremely well also. Now they're really simple to hook up. We just simply look at the shrimp with our main hook here. We're gonna go through the main body into the carapace and circle that around, push it down like that. That stinger hook comes right out at the tip. See where that lies? That is right out there to grab those fish when they bite. Now, I use this straw because, pull that up, I'm gonna put a single half hitch on here, just like that. We're gonna straighten this tail out. I'm gonna bring this straw down. Some of you guys have seen me do this before. We're just gonna twist this straw on here, and there you go. Don't need to multi-wrap that 3 times with half hitches. I simply put that straw on. It's gonna straighten your bait out and make it run true exactly how we wanna see it run. So utilize that straw to straighten that out. I just popped that off. Here, we'll pop that right back on to show you. You twist it on there, push it down, and it really straightens the bait out real nice. Now, you can run them, I call it naked, just like this. And they work really, really well. The other thing I can do now also, if I haven't pre-rigged with any flotation behind it like this, I can use this pin in the mercurial beads. This is a 12 mil. And the nice thing about these beads, if I want to add it on later, you know, I can tie these leaders to fish without any type of pre-tied buoyancy on there. And then if I want to, I can simply add a bead on here later. I'm gonna twist that on, push it down. That's gonna hold that shrimp and that straw down in position. It's added a little extra color, and it's added that buoyancy right to the back side of that. So that is an option. Any of these will work. Extra attractability, if you're looking for buoyancy and some color. The mercurial beads by Robolize is a great option because you can simply spin those onto your leader after the fact, and they're gonna work fantastic, adding additional buoyancy and color. Remember, 5.5 foot leader off of your diver. Use a B-chain swivel to protect your leader. Dual hook in a mooching rig tie setup, about 1 finger width in between your number 2 and your size 1, and pin those coon shrimp on there and get after it. Put them out about 40, 45 feet out in front of the drift boat or the sled. You're gonna have a good day. All right, jumping out for a quick break. When we come back, we'll be in studio to close it out.